Greetings and blessings to you all. Many of you are familiar with Spanish missions and some of the work that Larry White and myself do all over the world, and wanted to take advantage of this opportunity in the midst of all of the chaos that's going on right now to give you an update on our work, and hopefully it'll be encouraging to you. My world has not really been turned up, so to speak, in my day-to-day work because all of my ministry work, or at least most of it, is on a computer. But one of the things that has changed a good bit is my traveling schedule. I usually travel to about 12 different congregations to update everybody about the Spanish work that we're doing, and this year it's going to be in the form of a video. So I hope you'll take a few minutes and enjoy the updates on what we're doing right now and the plans we have for the rest of this year, and as we make plans for 2021 as well. When we look back to the beginning of this year, and a lot of congregations had a vision for 2020, and Spanish Missions was no different. We had a vision for the way we thought this year would play out, and no one could have foreseen the events that are now taking place in our world. And the United States are not the only people affected by this virus. Obviously, it is a global thing that's taking place, and we want to do what we can, not just to help our brothers and sisters here, but also those that are all over the world. For those of you who have never heard of Spanish Missions, I also want to give you a little bit of history about how this work came to be. About 49 years ago, Larry and Judy White went into the mission field to train preachers and teachers in South and Central America how to effectively communicate the gospel to those in the Spanish-speaking world. And after about 10 years of being there, Larry became ill and was not able to speak for a month, and came back to the States and then started doing correspondence work with all of those that he had been training at the time he was in South and Central America. Several years later, when Larry and Judy were looking for someone to help them in this ministry and make it as big as it could be online, I had the opportunity to interview with Larry and visit about his vision for this work and how I might be able to help. And the last 12 years that I have been working full-time with Larry have been such a blessing to me, and hopefully this work has continued to be a blessing to so many around the world. I want to give everybody a little bit of a hands-on look to some of the day-to-day things that we do, and specifically that I do, working to train people and answer questions for people all over the world. So I'm going to invite you into my office in my home and show you a little bit of the statistical information and some of the successes that we've seen, and then also some of the projects that we have going for this year. So welcome to my office. Wanted to share with you guys just a little bit about my day-to-day and some of the things I get to look at that are encouraging to me. Hopefully will be encouraging to you as well. I want to show a few things on my computer and some of the numbers and statistics of things that we get to look at. So I'm going to flip this screen around and see how well you can see it. So here, up in this corner here, you can see we have almost 52,000 followers right now. And this is the ad. I have it here in English for you for the last ad we ran for our courses. And if I scroll down here, you will see that in 3 months, or a little less than 3 months, we had almost 6 million people reached and 700,000 engagements. And with that many people studying and looking for things, this right here is very important. It's always important. We get asked so many questions, and we always want to give people Bible answers, and so that is what I get to spend the majority of my time doing, is answering questions for these people here. At the moment, we have about 35,000 students enrolled in our online program, and about 6,500 of those are preachers and teachers and people involved in ministry already. We also have about 1,100 mail-in students that we still send materials to on a very regular basis. Our websites have maintained the number 1 and number 2 spots out of 650,000 possible places you can go right now to study online, and our Bible Questions website has maintained the number 1 spot out of 1.6 million websites you can get Bible questions from on Yahoo. And so for a minute, I wanted to share some of the history of the statistics of the past 12 years when we started keeping track of how many Bible studies were being downloaded through this program. In 2008, there were 2.8 million Bible studies downloaded, and I want to jump forward to 2017 when there were nearly 32 million Bible studies downloaded. And you can see that that's 2.66 million per month, which breaks down to over 3,700 studies per hour that were being accessed during 2017. In 2018, we had roughly the exact same amount of numbers, 2.66 million per month, and we really thought that's where we were going to level off. And so at that point, maintenance was the goal, and we still set a goal higher than where we were, but we were unsure of how we would reach that. And at the end of last year, we saw that there had been over 45 million Bible studies downloaded, which is more than one every single second, and over 13 million more than the previous year. And so we were astounded and blessed by God to see those kinds of results through this training program. And one of the reasons that is because of our social media presence. Why is it important? Why do you keep working in this ministry? And there are a number of reasons why, but equipping people who work diligently in the kingdom of God is the priority of this work. Making sure preachers and teachers have sound material wherever they may be in the world, and especially in places we are not either willing or able to go, we can still equip people who will take the message of the gospel to a lost and dying world. And so I ask you to be praying for these people that we support through these materials, and thank you for making that possible. As I mentioned earlier, we also have a local work that we started, and it has taken off in great ways, and we've been able to have a presence in the Hispanic community where we live. And if you would like to learn a little bit more about that, you are welcome to go to the website, www.spanishmissions.net, and you can see more about the work that's taking place here locally. You will also have access to the Spanish Bible courses on that website, as well as our updated newsletters that we post every quarter. So again, that website was www.spanishmissions.net. And if you ever have any questions, you can contact us through the contact page on the SpanishMissions.net page, or I will put contact information at the end of this video as well. But I wanted to share a couple of pictures with you as well from ministry here locally. One of the greatest days of ministry was getting to baptize two of my friends that became my brother and sister in Christ that were really the reason we started this ministry. And after nearly 3 years of studying with this couple, they both decided to obey the gospel on the same night. And it was such a tremendous blessing to be a part of that evening and a part of their lives. We also have the Bible Courses Workshop that we host every year in Central or South America. And you can see Costa Rica was the first 2 years, and then Honduras. And this year the plan is to go to Guatemala. Although right now, with the quarantine, we're not going anywhere. So we're on hold right now to make plans for that workshop. Wanted to show a couple of pictures from 2019 whenever we were in Honduras, and our attendance at that workshop doubled from what it was the previous year. And so we're able to have a greater impact for those who are wanting to come to these conferences. And in Honduras, we had just about 200 people that came and filled this room, and we had screens set up, and Tim Hines and Dalton Hines were such a huge help in helping organize this event and making it the success that it was. We have a handful of things that we were able to accomplish from last year, including these workshops, but wanted to mention a couple of goals that we have for 2020 as well. Number one goal is always maintenance, and if you've ever heard a Spanish Missions presentation, you know that's always been the number one goal, because when you have as many Bible studies accessed and people following you as we do, we want to make sure that we can keep up with the follow-up work with these people. As a result of the maintenance, we're hoping to increase our studies to 4 million downloads per month this upcoming year. So we ask that you be praying for that as well. Our phone app is being downloaded every single day by so many people, and so we're keeping up with the additions to that as well. We'd love to continue to grow our local Spanish congregation here, and we have men that are being trained to help with leadership, such as praying and leading singing and teaching, which is also going great as well. We also would like to capitalize on our trip from last year and prepare ourselves even better for the next workshop, whenever that may be. In Jesus' ministry, he ended right before ascending to the Father with saying, "Go ye into all the world." And that's exactly what Spanish Missions aims to do, is to go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature, and to help educate men and women on the roles of each individual person within the church, and equipping them to be the best evangelists that they can be. And we would love for you to join efforts with us, whether it be with your local work, or if you would like to be involved with the work that we're doing abroad. We would love to work with you in any way that we can, whether it's supplying you for materials on trips that you're going on, or whether it's just prayers. And so if there's anything that we can do for you, we ask that you would let us know. Our contact information is on the screen right now. As always, we want to conclude by saying thanks again for your involvement in this work. We love you so much and look forward to being able to be with you again soon. May God bless you with a great rest of your year.
Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me, let me be singing when the evening comes. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship his holy name.